Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV News and we're coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Here are the main news headlines. In the Banjul High Court, in the case of the state versus Boubacar Keita alias Bob Keita, most of the day was taken up with lawyer for the defense cross-examining prosecution witness 9, a police officer on blood and DNA collection and analysis. And package, partners today met to discuss and set criteria for the National Health Insurance Scheme. Heads of law enforcement agencies in the ECOWAS region and the diplomatic representatives in the country met on Tuesday for a 2 days briefing on the West Africa Police Information System, WAPIS. And the Bachka Association of the Gambia has called on the government to allow them to operate freely like other taxis operating in the country. So stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. And now we take a look at the news in detail. Now, in the case of the state versus Boubacar Keita alias Bob Keita, LS Camara, lawyer for the defense, cross-examined prosecution witness 9 ASP Lamin Jata on matters of authenticity and verification of blood sample collection to getting samples analyzed abroad and bringing DNA results back to the Gambia. Ajibintu Drame has more.
Question about whether he was present during taking or collection of the blood samples of the accused Bob Keita, Pa Modou Dioum and Baby Mohamed. The witness PW9 ASP Jata says he was not present. The witness was then asked whether he knew who extracted the blood samples from Pa Modou, Baby Mohamed and the accused. ASP Jata answered no. LS Camara questioned whether all ASP Jata did with the respective samples was to pick them up and take them to Ghana. ASP answered yes, after confirming the samples were handed over to him. Superintendent Edward Kofi Aban, named as prosecution witness 10 and an expert from Ghana, who is a senior police officer and forensic expert with the Ghana Police Service, testified on his involvement in the case. Sealed in 4 envelopes after analyzing the DNA results, Superintendent Aban identified and confirmed the situation of the envelopes and was asked to open them. However, the results were not disclosed in court. Judge Mobudu SM Jallo told the lawyers, namely the Principal State Counsel and the Defense Counsel, to have a copy of the results for further preparation of cases tomorrow. As primary evidence to apply for the document to be admitted into evidence as an exhibit, the court admits into evidence as an exhibit the DNA results as identified by Superintendent Aban. LS Camara, Senior Defense Counsel, signaled his intention to object to the entering into evidence of the DNA, but the judge instructed him to reserve his reasons for objecting to the next day. After a 6-hour hearing, the trial was adjourned to tomorrow, 11 a.m. Wednesday, 12 October, including for Defense Counsel LS Camara to set out the grounds for his objection. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Now, today, the 11th of October, marks the 10th anniversary of the commemoration of the International Day of the Girl Child. The day is set aside to raise awareness of the importance of girls' empowerment and highlight the challenges that girls face. Here is Jennifer Sonko.
On December 19, 2011, the United Nations General Assembly adopted and declared 11th October as the International Day of the Girl Child. As this year marks the 10th anniversary of its commemoration, adolescent girls have showed that if empowered, they have the potential to change the world. To achieve this, there needs to be the appropriate investment to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. But what does International Day of the Girl Child mean to an African child like Adama Suso?
I feel like it's a very important day and also a very special day for girls to celebrate, especially in Africa where girls and women are not being given a lot of rights and we have a lot of responsibilities, and they somehow feel like they could cage us, you know, and take us to the houses and tell us that we are just for our husbands and all of that. And so having the opportunity to be able to speak up for ourselves on the Day of the Girl Child, like, it means a lot to me. Like, so sometimes I write like poetry, and I got to share it with the UNICEF and the Woman Boss because I felt like that was one of the opportunities I had to be able to express myself.
Almost half of primary schools in less developed countries lack single-sex toilets, which greatly affects girls' attendance when they are on their periods. More than 2/3 of schools are without electricity, and girls are primarily victims of sexual exploitation and constitute 72% of detected victims. The theme for this year's commemoration is Our Time, Our Right, Our Future. This is what John Sabah Fatima Tarawale thinks about this year's theme.
We have to get up now, we have to speak now, we have to fight for our rights now, because we've seen generations come and go, and nothing has been done about our challenges. Now we have to wake up and speak up for generations to come.
One can determine a government's commitment through services and benefits allocated to the rights of the girl child. Government budgets clearly show their priorities against other sectors and demands. Adam Asuso, a student, demands more grassroots initiatives to empower the girl child.
I feel like we should have empowerment programs like the Woman Boss, UNICEF, Girls Talk, and all of that come around to schools and talk to us about women, girls, what we should know, our rights, and the Constitution, what is in it for us, like when we speak up, something like that. But if we always keep quiet and we don't have any empowerment issues, then obviously we will not be able to speak up.
In 2019, the Gambia government created the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, mandated to develop and implement programs for girls in collaboration with other sectors. Now, a multiple indicator cluster survey conducted in 2018 in the Gambia confirms that 34% of women 20 to 49 years old were married before the age of 18. 25% of girls in the country are involved in child labor, with a higher proportion in rural areas. 51% of girls between the ages 0 and 14 have experienced female genital mutilation. This places a higher burden on the ministry and other sectors to change the narrative. If this year's theme, Our Time is Now, Our Rights, Our Future, is to mean anything.
Our time, our life, our future!
Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosong.
Now, in an ongoing consultation by the Ministry of Health and partners to develop a health benefits package, partners today met to discuss and set criteria for the National Health Insurance Scheme. Loliam Kamara has more.
Health sector experts gathered at the Sadauda Conference Center to complete the selection of criteria for the health benefit package. According to officials from the Health Ministry, this stage will provide a list of priority interventions for consideration. Mohamed Lamin Jaite, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Health, on behalf of the Minister of Health, expressed gratitude to all stakeholders for their continuous dedication to this important cause, but again reminded them to provide concrete guidance that would be impactful to our health sector in setting priority interventions.
We have a huge disease burden in this country as compared to the limited scope of our resources available to address them. And so to strike that need balance between those priorities and the limited resource availability is a big challenge, but we are very much sure that we have very competent hands in the persons of all of you here to be able to, at the end of the day, help us with a list of priority interventions.
Dr. Samuel Mills, the World Bank task leader, says the National Health Insurance Scheme will provide universal health coverage in the country and ensure citizens have access to the healthcare service they need at a lesser cost. Dr. Mills then outlined some of the areas supported by the World Bank.
We are currently supporting the performance-based financing of health facilities across the country, and this is going to feed into the National Health Insurance Scheme. We also provided some technical and financial support in developing the National Health Insurance Bill, and we've been continuing to provide support for the establishment of the National Health Insurance Authority.
Dr. Kasa Mohammed, WHO advisor in the country, spoke about the decision-making process.
There's one language which is in the WHO benefit package production guideline. It talks about progressive universalism. It's just another confusing thing on top of UHC. But the concept is really basic. What they wanted to say is please start small, practically small, and then add more of your services and populations gradually. Don't try to start everything. Don't try. I was part of some of the groups, and the ideas are really brilliant.
In addition to annual membership contributions, the National Health Insurance Scheme will be funded from donor support, revenue generation sources, and budgetary allocations, with 3,000 to 4,000 health interventions. Setting out priority areas is a must for the sustainability of the scheme. It is hoped that at the end of the meeting, stakeholders will have agreed a list of interventions and models that will serve as a guide for decision makers and ensure a smooth take-up for the National Health Insurance Scheme. For QTV News, Lolly M. Camara.
And that report there by Lolly M. Camara will lead us to the commercial break, but the news continues when we return.
Bank from here and there and here too, here and even here. Introducing the Bloom Digital Suite from Bloom Bank Africa, web and mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go at your convenience and on your own terms. Check and transfer funds, pay NAWEC bills, buy cash power, buy mobile credit, and so much more. For more information, visit www.bloombankafrica.com or pass by any of our branches nationwide. Download from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Bloom Digital Web and Mobile Banking on the go from Bloom Bank Africa.
Wait, LG, thank you. Yup. Thanks to LG ThinQ, I can operate and get cycle updates from my AIDD front-load washing machine without even stepping foot in the laundry room. I can be busy with rehearsals on a conference call and still do my laundry, or watching series glued to my couch and too lazy to get up. My life made easy with LG ThinQ.
Have you heard about Platinum Properties?
No, what's that?
Well, Platinum Properties is a real estate agency located at Sukuta traffic lights on the Turntable Highway, selling the best located lands with amazing deals. From our Sifo Gunjur housing to Sanyang housing to Tujareng Faces and many other perfect locations, as well as individual plots suitable for you. Get away from the noisy and crowded streets and buy your dream home with us in these beautiful and peaceful locations. We have many dimensions available for you, from 21 by 25 to 21 by 20, 19 by 19 to 25 by 25, and many other different dimensions to suit your needs. With flexible payment plans, whether it is a mortgage payment or not, we've got you covered.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I'll visit them.
Reach now to Platinum Properties to get the best deals. For more information, call us on 397-1669 or 760-5414. Platinum Properties, your best choice for your dream home.
Welcome back from our commercial break. Be reminded you're following QTV News and we're broadcasting live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Now, heads of law enforcement agencies in the region and diplomatic representatives in the country met on Tuesday for 2 days briefing on the West Africa Police Information System, WAPIS. The program was introduced to track and prevent transnational crime in ECOWAS member states. More in this report. WAPIS was established to strengthen the exchange of police information in West Africa. The geographical location of most member states makes the region attractive to criminals, especially drug peddlers and human traffickers. This has been shown with recent significant drug seizures in the region. Hence, the importance of this multinational security information system. Speaking on behalf of the Inspector General of Police at this WAPIS briefing, Commissioner Lamin L.K. Bojang says the GPF joined WAPIS since its introduction and has been functional in the Gambia since 2017. He reveals that the Gambia has come a long way in the implementation. Commissioner Bojang says the force appreciates the capability and importance of the WAPIS program, especially in fighting terrorism in the region and beyond.
Fully aware that no single police strategy can overcome this threat without effective exchange of police information. Therefore, WAPIS couldn't have come at a better time than now.
Richard Gotway, head of Interpol West Africa, Miata French, ECOWAS resident representative, and Luca Palazotto, EU representative in the Gambia, all highlighted the importance of WAPIS in fighting transnational crime in the region. And while promising their various institutions support to the GPF WAPIS unit, they also called on the government to offer more support to the unit to strengthen its capacity.
We intend to continue the implementation of this program in the country by providing additional equipment and trainings, by connecting several law enforcement locations in Banjul to Dakore, and of course by implementing the AFI system, which will be connected to the WAPIS system.
During the ECOWAS Mediation and Security Council meetings at ambassadorial and ministerial levels in June and July 2022 in Abuja and Accra respectively, the two councils recommended that the implementation of the WAPIS program be extended to all air, land and sea borders of the ECOWAS member states. It can be seen, therefore, that the effective functioning of the system is also high among the priorities of the ECOWAS Commission.
The program aims at supporting the investigation of major international crimes and the frontline officers in dealing with the movement of persons and goods at the border crossing points. The system recalls the early days of a similar structure of the European Union called Europol.
Jibril Low, Deputy Permanent Secretary Technical at the Ministry of Interior, says with the rise in crime, coups and human trafficking and continuous reports of large seizures of drugs in the region, such engagements to strengthen the WAPIS program couldn't be timelier. And he also called on member stakeholders in the security sector in member states to work closely together to help fight organized crime in the region. WAPIS provides local law enforcement authorities with an electronic national police information system, allowing them to create, manage and share files connected to crimes and offenses. Data includes criminal cases and events, suspects, victims and witnesses, legal proceedings, weapons and objects, vehicles, identity documents. Antoine Sonyasi for KTV News. Now, the Butch Car Association of the Gambia has called on the government to allow them to operate freely like other taxis operating in the country. They spoke to Umi Awaba at the Butch Car Garage in Dipakunda. Here's the report.
According to the members of the Butch Car Association, they have been operating in the Gambia for the last 5 years. They explained some of their challenges and frustration, including regarding issuance of their license. Bamusa Drame is the president of the Butch Car Association.
Problem suñ dé am ci kaw tali bi dafa bari suñ digante ak taximan yi da nga gis nga nek ci kaw tali rek borom moto ñew na pam.
Our problems on the road are many, especially our relationship with the taxi drivers. When we are operating, some taxi drivers will cause trouble for us by insulting us and telling us to get off the road. The police also want to stop issuing us operational licenses. They said they will not renew our license for us to operate when they expire because they said according to the law, the Butch car should not be used as a commercial vehicle. Yet, they registered us under the commercial category.
Sidia Sar and Mama Juve are commuters that use the Butch car for their daily activities. They spoke about the importance of Butch car.
The Butch car is very helpful to us, the workers. They are faster and friendlier than the taxi drivers. We will be affected if they are banned.
We prefer batch cars and we are pleased because when they were stopped some time ago, we suffered greatly because we resort to walking. Other taxi will not take us to our destination, unlike the batch car that can go everywhere. We want the batch cars to stay and continue operating. If it is stopped, we will strike.
Alpha Omar Silla, a batch car driver, says if the batch car are stopped from operating, their lives will be greatly affected.
We plead with the government to let us continue our work. Let them select those qualified to use batch cars. If the batch cars are stopped, it will affect us because this is where we get money to pay our rents and sustain our families.
Aminata Jallo told us how genuine the batch car drivers are. We want them to be given a chance to work and help themselves. The batch car drivers are respectful and sympathetic. With the Gambia now experiencing severe traffic jams on urban roads, it seems some people now prefer batch cars to other vehicles as a source of transportation. Although stopping them from operation might somehow reduce the traffic jams, it will still cause some loss of income for our economy and make life difficult for those who depend on it to earn a living. Reporting for QTV News, I am Umi Awaba.
And I'm afraid this is all that time permits, but we'll be back at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Until then, thanks for watching.